Bangladesh as it remains on the boil. The attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh have not ceased even after the merciless mob lynching of garment factory worker Dipu Chandra Das. At least 5 houses of Hindu families were set on fire by mobs in the Pirojpur district over the weekend. Add to that Pakistan's constant engagement with Bangladesh's interim administration, and that's a recipe for disaster. In fact, sources have told CNN News18 that Pakistan has been maintaining continuous contact with the interim regime as well as political groups opposed to former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Intelligence inputs reviewed by CNN News18 allege that Pakistan is actively maneuvering Bangladesh's political landscape by extending support to opposition parties, including Khalida Zia's Bangladesh Nationalist Party and Shafiqur Rahman-led Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami, just ahead of the polls. Reports further claim that Pakistan's intelligence agency, the ISI, is suspected of providing covert financial assistance to these groups. Allegations that Islamabad has not publicly responded to. But it does seem like after decades of distancing, Pakistan and Bangladesh are warming up again. This year, the ISI chief, Lieutenant General Asim Malik, visited Dhaka for the first time in decades. Pakistan's foreign minister landed in Dhaka in August this year. That was the first visit by a Pakistani minister after 13 years. Reports claim the ISI is running a cell inside Pakistan's Dhaka mission. Behind-the-scenes talks of a mutual defence pact are also underway. And what's even more shocking is that Pakistan's envoy met with Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus just yesterday. Both sides decided to resume direct Dhaka and Karachi flights. Pakistan's Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir is also expected to visit Bangladesh in January. Then comes the rhetoric. A PMLN leader has threatened India, claiming Pakistan will stand with Bangladesh if India goes to war with them. Is this a coincidence or coordination? What is Pakistan's ISI doing in Bangladesh and what will it mean for India? Let's quickly bring in our guests tonight. All right, I'm joined in by Smriti S. Patnaik, who's a research fellow at the MPIDSA, and also joined in by Salahuddin Shoaib Chaudhry, who's a Bangladeshi journalist. Many thanks to you both for joining in. Shoaib, I want to also ask you, you've been deeply probing the ISI angle in Bangladesh. As you've always said, that it never began with tanks and fighter jets, it was always with the rhetoric. And we can see that kind of political noise emanating not just in Bangladesh, but also from Pakistan. What do you make of this information warfare at play by the ISI?
Thank you very much, Akanksha. You see, this time what we are witnessing from Bangladesh, that Pakistani ISI and its military establishment, they are using the social media to directly mislead the people of Bangladesh. For example, a few days ago, on a Facebook page, there was a post by so-called D Times. And the D Times, it claimed that we Bangladeshis are considering changing our flag. Then I digged into this information about D Times, and it was found that there is no such existence of anything called D Times on the web. Instead, it's a news, it's just a Facebook page run from Pakistan. I have provided the phone number also in one of my articles.
We are flashing images of that very page that you accessed for the benefit of our viewers. So viewers, what Shoaib is also stating is that there's the number on this particular page which shows the Bangladesh flag merged with the Pakistani flag, and that number comes from Pakistan. Shoaib, please continue.
Yes, and then there was another propaganda immediately after the murder of Osman Hadi. It was another obscure Pakistani website. I never heard of it. Definitely you have never heard of it as well. It says that the killer behind the Osman Hadi is Indian Raw. Clearly it said. Then when we digged into further to this matter, we saw this obscure website has suddenly become extremely active in boosting all the posts on social media, particularly Facebook. And this the website is based in Lahore, and the owners of this website, only two people, a man and a woman. There is no journalist, nothing. And they are continuously publishing anti-India propaganda on this website, targeting India and Bangladesh. I mean, this is, I have written somewhere that it is run by Pakistani ISI.
Okay. I quickly want to bring in Smriti also on that note. Smriti, what began as a possible thaw between Dhaka and Islamabad after the July uprising soon seems to be turning into a deeper, more coordinated realignment and engagement, as we've seen how after decades the ISI chief, Lieutenant General Asim Malik, visited Bangladesh this year. There are also credible inputs to establish the fact that there is an ISI cell operating out of Pakistan's High Commission in Dhaka. What do you make of these developments, this realignment, and what will this mean for India's Eastern Front?
I would say that this realignment is not surprising at all. It was expected, especially after Hasina's exit, that Pakistan will be active on India's Eastern Front, which it used to be active some time back prior to Hasina being elected to power in 2008 during the BNP regime. We also know that the kind of activities the ISI was involved in. So therefore, I would say it was not surprising, and it is, as you were saying, the ISI chief visiting Bangladesh, that is this defense cooperation agreement, and of course, currently they are speaking of resuming the flight
Yes.
between
So
Pakistan
as recently as yesterday, that kind of engagement.
Yes.
Also, what's extremely surprising, Smriti, I'm sure you could weigh in on that, that when it's not a mandated government, you are looking at an interim government. Interim governments don't engage so much diplomatically, as we've seen Pakistan reaching out to the interim regime and the interim advisor, Mohammad Yunus himself.
I think the interim regime is operating in an extremely anti-Hasina kind of agenda, and anti-Hasina and anti-India some of the time becomes same. So I am also equally surprised. The mandate of the interim regime should have been to initiate reforms and hold the election and lead. And yet the interim regime is doing all kind of foreign policies, which will become, you are putting a foundation of a foreign policy in a particular direction, which becomes very difficult for a person, the next elected government, to go back unless until there is a deterioration of bilateral relationship. One has seen the demand of changing the national anthem, the Victory Day, which is generally celebrated in Dhaka. For the past 2 years, one doesn't see the celebration of the Victory Day. So, and there are also rhetoric which speaks about the kind of role which Pakistan played in terms of its atrocities. It's not mentioned now. It is much more mentioned about like you cannot give the slogan of Joy Bangla because it is seen as Awami League slogan, not the slogan which inspired many of the people who fought the freedom in 1971. So it's a very different kind of situation which actually has created a kind of ecosystem where Pakistan establishment is not only flourishing, but also at the same time we see the rise of Islamists because
that's an interesting term. I think it's an ecosystem that has been built upon over here. So Shoaib, who stands to benefit from this ecosystem? Is it Mohammad Yunus or is it the BNP? There seems to be a secret back channel understanding of sorts. Clearly, all of this is going to cast a shadow on the upcoming February elections. Will this also sort of engineer a hung house? What is your expectation at the moment from the upcoming polls? Will they even happen?
Akanksha, as you know that Pakistan's main agenda is to recapture Bangladesh and turn it into East Pakistan. So, if you are asking me who is the beneficiary is Pakistani, ISI and Pakistan. In that case, both Yunus, BNP, Jamaat Islami and all other elements, including the members of our armed forces, they are willingly or unwillingly playing the role of mercenaries of the Pakistani regime, Pakistani establishment. And if you ask me how my army is also involved into the role of mercenary, I will clearly say then when they are understanding that the Pakistan has already launched a full-blown media war against India, signaling the possibility of beginning a war, a physical war very soon, and when my army is silent, when my army is even inviting Pakistan to begin a joint venture project and by undertaking our Bangladesh Ordnance Factory and produce Shaheen 2 prototype missile in Bangladesh. So in definitely in our army is also being very much dragged. If not dragged, I should actually use something else, but they are dragged into the trap, and they are also serving the purpose of Pakistan. And they understand that they are possibly serving the purpose of uh, China or any other element that is not India. They are holding a kind of the anti-India sentiment into their mind. But
Okay.
at the end of the day, they are actually destroying, causing tremendous damage to my country's sovereignty and independence.
Smriti, what would this mean for India's porous borders? Because we all have enough evidence to be aware of the fact that over 1 million Rohingyas have been raised as Pakistan-backed Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army. You're looking at India's eastern front being compromised. What are the challenges ahead for India's Home Ministry?
I think India is going to face severe challenges in terms of infiltration that may happen, that may take advantage of the porous border. There will
And
be
terrorism. Let's not forget the free
yes,
hand
yes.
given to radicals who all have links with the ISIS and the Al-Qaeda.
Yes, you probably must not have forgotten the Bardhaman blast, which by chance, because the blast went
True.
off, we could see the JMB. Once action is taken against the JMB in Bangladesh side, they are operating on the Indian side. So the porous border, as you said, is one of the biggest challenge. And along with that, the insurgency, Northeast insurgency, which has lied dormant, and Indian government has been negotiating for peace. And so in some of the places, it has been achieved. They have reached a kind of agreement with the insurgent groups. So there will be this tendency, especially Pakistan will encourage and will provide support to insurgent elements operating in the northeast. So there are also some news report regarding Paresh Barua shifting his base from China to Bangladesh. So Bangladesh has always provided as I was speaking of the ecosystem, has provided that kind of environment where this kind of element can very safe, will be given safe haven and will be operating inside India. So
Okay.
it's a kind of replicating. As I agree with all the attempt is being made to make Bangladesh former East Pakistan. Not in terms of, I'm not speaking of sovereignty. I'm not speaking that East Pakistan, it will become the former East Pakistan in terms of sovereignty. It will remain Bangladesh, but it will operate as East Pakistan in terms of the political and strategic ecosystem which Pakistan always wanted to have
Okay.
in East Pakistan.
Okay. Quick closing thoughts, Shoaib. Do you think that the killing of Hadi was manufactured only to drum up anti-India rhetoric, given that diplomacy is already failing? Yesterday, we saw a very sharp attack come in from Dhaka's foreign ministry. They have questioned India's facts and figures, especially when our spokesperson shared that figure of 2,900 documented incidents of violence against minorities. That includes Christians, Buddhists, apart from Hindus. So if the Meghalaya police, if the BSF have already gone on record to dismiss reports that the killers of Hadi crossed over to the borders, why is Dhaka making these claims? And if they do disagree with India's figures when it comes to documented, say, episodes of violence against minorities, come out with your own facts and figures. But there, they've maintained a strategic silence.
Akanksha, we are hearing the voice of Islamabad via Dhaka. And that is what it's saying, that Hadi's killers are in Meghalaya, whatever, Ramu Hills. But in reality, I can say on record that both the killers of Hadi are currently, just now, they are inside the Pakistan High Commission's first floor, which is called Dhaka Cell. They are very much inside road number 71, Gulshan, Dhaka. They are inside the Pakistan High Commission, and they were used and hired by Pakistan High Commission to assassinate Hadi for a political mileage that Pakistan is already getting, and to somehow destabilize the country's situation, and to how to say, never hold any election in this country. So I'm repeating The killers of Hadi are not in Meghalaya. The killers of Hadi are inside Pakistan High Commission in Dhaka, road number 71, Gulshan. At first floor, there is a cell called Dhaka cell, and both of them are there. And if Pakistan has the courage, let them deny my claim. I will come up with some strong evidence.
All right, I will await a response coming in from at least Bangladesh's foreign ministry with regards to the claim you've made. It's a very bold, sweeping claim that you're making. Perhaps will also shut all the anti-India voice, the noise, the rhetoric that's coming out from Dhaka. But we'll have to leave it at that since I'm running short of time. Many thanks to you, Smriti Patnaik, and also Shoaib for joining in. Appreciate your unabashed views here as well.